Well, Blade fans, we're back again with more. I told you we'd be getting some new goodies in, and they're coming in large and small and in between. This is from Civivi, the magic words. They have such a fan club. People see the word Civivi and they go wild. I've seen it. And this is the, wow, Keen Nadder. Strange name. Sorry. Don't know what it means. Maybe you do. But at any rate, I'm going to read you a few specs off of Blade HQ. But first, why not take a look at the knife so you're not staring at a white box? This is a Civivi that comes in a nice pouch. Doesn't happen too often. Must be higher end, you say. Well, it could be. Let's dispense with all the paper and extraneous stuff and get straight to the goods. Here is the Civivi Keen Nadder. And what version did I get? But a brown micarta handle and a stone-washed recurve Tanto blade. So a little background from Blade HQ, as I said I would. This model of the Civivi Keen Nadder comes with a brown micarta handle, yes, and a gray stone-washed Tanto blade. I said that. The Civivi brand is set on making excellent quality budget folders. As an example, we present the Keen Nadder liner lock knife. Okay. But the interesting thing is, I feel kind of a departure for Civivi is they're making this out of N690, which is something you typically see from Fox knives and other knives out of Italy. What am I thinking of? Well, I'll think of it later. Has a cage ceramic ball bearing pivot, micarta scales, and let's recite a few specs so I don't need to measure up. Overall length 8.25 inches, blade length 3.5 inches, cutting edge 3.5 inches, blade width 1 inch, blade thickness 0.15 or 4 millimeter, Bowler N690 steel, 58 to 60 Rockwell hardness. It is a recurve Tanto. It's a compound grind because it's a recurve Tanto. Handle length is 4.75 inches. Handle width is 0.75. Handle thickness 0.51. And the weight is 3.68 ounces. It's a right and left hand tip-up carry. Uses both a flipper tab and thumb studs. And it's considered an everyday carry. If you wanted the model number, it's C2021B like boy. Without further ado, let's take a look at the Civivi Keen Nadder. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So we have a nice, I'm going to guess that it's linen micarta. I don't think it's quite rough enough to be canvas, but pretty close to it. You usually get that whiteness, that dryness in the handle on the canvas micarta. So I'm going to say it's canvas micarta. They're just calling it micarta. It's definitely not G10. We have a beautiful deep carry black clip, which can be mounted on either side, as they said. Have a little block of a backspacer near the butt there. A nice pin for your lanyard. Black pivots. Civivi logo on one side. It is a nice gray matte finish. And we've got that slight inverse curve that makes it a recurve Tanto. Still have your Tanto point there, and you have a usable kind of belly on the tip rather than a flat straight Tanto tip. Got a half fuller up here, and nice aggressive jimping. The action is nice whether you use the thumb stud or the flipper. Can spidey flick it with the thumb stud as well. Ergos, well, it's a very simple handle and a little bit sticking out in the end for me. Nice stop here as a guard, and oh yes, you have a usable finger choil. If you're careful, you can get a fattier finger in there. I wouldn't get too carefree. You can still nick yourself on the corner there, but it is angled forward, so the heel of that blade is not a point that's pointing back towards you, but a point that points away, and that's a good thing. We have what appears to be copious amounts of weight relieving in the form of skeletonizing of the liners on both sides, but mainly on the show side. They can't do too much. Come on, focus. They can't do too much on the liner lock side because they got to cut it out to create the liner lock. But you do see some additional skeletonizing on the liner side on some knives. So we've got a lanyard pin. We've got an interesting EDC blade where that point can be employed for some cutting shores in itself, as well as the tip. And you got a nice little curve there as well. Nice color to the handle. It does come in, I think, black and a blacked out blade and a few other colors. This one came from Amazon, but don't forget to check them out as well. They just became available on White Mountain Knives. And you can get 10% off, of course, with Old Sword as your discount code. OLDSWORD. Wow, I could spell. The Civivi Nadder. Let's stack it up against a few others. See what we get. First out today, Benchmade Boost. Why not? Yeah, the Boost is a bigger knife. Better than 3.5, more like 3 3/4. A little longer handle, and of course it's a assisted axis lock. Something a little closer to size is the Benchmade Griptilian. Pretty much dead on, same overall size. And Rat One. Can't leave out the Rat One. Bigger knife, sure. Bigger handle, bigger blade. But bigger overall and larger to carry. We'll take a final look at the Civivi Nadder Keen. Keen Nadder? Keen Nadder. This name's going to drive me nuts. Yep, Keen Nadder. Okay. I'll try to remember the name. We'll just call it the Keen because it's got a keen edge, right? Maybe a Nadder is something. If you know what it is, you know how it relates to the knife, let me know. Smooth action. Pretty much falls shut. I mean, not everything does the slow motion fall. It has to be a heavier blade, a little bigger, a little longer with the right tuning. But this comes through nice, just the way it is. I think I did add a spot or two of oil. Usually do on the bearings, because they come through dry sometimes. So again, you can use a thumb stud, nice conical thumb stud with ramping, stepping for a good thumb purchase. Pretty positive. And not too tall, a flipper tab. Plenty of jimping on it. Let's see. Can we fail it? It's holding on. Can't fail it. Pretty nicely tuned. There, of course, is your hole and a screw that can be taken out to put it on the left side for you lefties. Well, let me know what you think. I've seen a couple other reviews out there, but not too many. Relatively newly released Civivi Keen Nadder. Flipper, thumb stud, pocket knife on bearings. N690 Bowler steel. Give it a like, I hope, and let me know if you haven't subscribed. Please do so. Thank you. This Old Sword, signing out.